What you saw in Los Angeles yesterday wasn't rioting and destruction, so stop trusting your eyes and just listen to the experts, as CNN shows you vehicles burning.
Peaceful protests, people that are there to protest.
MSNBC watches them skirmish with the feds.
These are peaceful people that want to get their message across. They brought signs, they're out with families in some places.
And even controlled opposition Fox News says,
there were no problems. At one point, somebody did throw a Molotov cocktail.
As the mostly peaceful people that cause no problems other than throwing a Molotov is the official narrative that they want to run, or to avoid President Trump's National Guard coming in and finally exposing who is actually organizing and funding these protests in Los Angeles, as this story is going to vindicate a lot of tinfoil hat theories. As sure, there were a few peaceful protesters. I can count about 5 right here. But into the evening, the rioters at best set buildings on fire, then broke apart their own sidewalks to make concrete projectiles, and as Fox News pointed out, they made improvised incendiary devices that masked men in hoods threw at the local coppers, as they were pretty much defenseless, even getting their windows smashed in. So many peaceful people protesting peacefully, causing no problems, it's incredibly confusing why President Trump would need to deploy the National Guard, as why would they need to protect the feds getting attacked in the ICE building from these peaceful people? But it was satisfying to see them finally open up and start blasting.
Oh, they're coming out. Watch out.
As most of them had their hands up, but some were still throwing projectiles back. These idiots actually see themselves as revolutionary freedom fighters, but they're really just live-action role-playing, as the police are basically operating as a daycare for the EBT tribes, because they pretend they want to fight, and nobody wants this, including me, but if LAPD actually wanted to win, this riot would end before the first Live magazine was emptied, as they're having fun waving all the flags of all the countries they demand they not live in, with the most harmless individuals showing up with their selfie stick to antagonize the feds.
The governor did not make you come here! Stop helping fascists! Walk off the job now! What the f*** are you doing?
And people that look like this, demanding a fight.
We will fight and fight and fight and get tear gas, and they'll still come out here today.
With dudes in bedazzled hoodies that read FTP firing off fireworks at the police. And well into the next day, these cosplay revolutionaries are throwing rocks at the cops. But these types are only emboldened to do so when they know to a certainty the police are only using paintballs. So at what point in time does this go from idiots organizing online to destroy their own city because they know their local police aren't treating them like a foreign military, and this actually being foreign actors attacking US cities, as they were actually locking down blocks with chicken wire, moving behind burning refrigerators to make makeshift barricades, launching attacks at police and defilade, and even utilizing their combat dinner plates to shatter on their MRAPs. But then, shining lasers into the eyes of helicopter pilots.
You see the airship fly right through our picture there. If that laser is pointed up at the aircraft, it can blind the pilot.
So at this point in time, the gloves should come off, as they ceased being peaceful people a long time ago. And it's truly sad that we're under attack in our own country, but the majority of people wouldn't know about any of this if it wasn't for some weird YouTube channel called Decoy Voice, as the corporate mainstream media is straight up ignoring all these fiery but mostly peaceful protests, and like clockwork, the looting has begun. As this small business owner's store has been destroyed, Interesting how the Democrats will bend over backwards for foreign gang members and traffickers, but for foreign business owners, crickets. Now I know you're sitting at home concerned if they're looting the local liquor stores or the library safe. But apparently the BLM riots taught us why they don't touch bookstores.
Why do you think bookstores were never looted and robbed during BLM riots?
Because black people, we enjoy education.
Oh, they weren't.
They weren't. That's the point. Why would we loot bookstores?
Why would you loot designer stores?
Who would have known only stealing TVs and sneakers was such a noble cause, as scumbags will always see unrest in the streets and use it as an opportunity to make money for themselves. But with this particular protest, anybody might be able to cash in 5 figures. As remember yesterday, that idiot throwing rocks at cop cars, where the FBI's deputy director singled him out, specifically looking for him. So it wasn't long before additional footage of that individual was found. And now, the feds are offering a $50,000 reward for finding him, providing several other images from various parts of the protest, as a stranger wouldn't necessarily be able to identify him, but maybe a workplace enemy, a spurned ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, or basically anybody that knows him in real life is going to be able to identify him, especially when you can earn $50K or the equivalency of 166,666 chicken McNuggets. I may not be a math Asian, but I'm basically Rain Man when it comes to eating fat. But we may be too late, as internet genius Tony Saruga is on the case, finding additional footage of him, identifying 5 of these attackers' mobile devices, and providing them to the authorities. But also, discovering the guy waving the Mexican flag is actually likely from Venezuela, where he's been at Antifa, BLM, Palpatine, and 3 Kamala Harris rallies, residing nightly at a $2 million home, and could possibly be getting funding from various NGOs that receive money from USAID, which coincides with another internet genius and data Republican finding similar things about the protests, where she says the signs may actually point us to who is organizing these protests. But we don't need any of that, as LA City Council members just openly admitted now.
They know how quickly we mobilize. That's why they're changing tactics. Because community defense works and our resistance has slowed them down before. And if they're escalating their tactics, then so are we.
So even with mountains of evidence and some self-incrimination, you can never be too certain. But what we do know for sure is as the riots are occurring, the left-wing media is pretending they aren't, and the Democrat politicians are desperate to keep the feds away. As Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass went on TV to say the feds are causing the chaos.
As ICE initiated enforcement actions on several workplaces, and that created a sense of chaos and outrage and fear and terror because people are very worried.
With her LAPD releasing a statement saying, "The demonstrations across Los Angeles remain peaceful. We appreciate the cooperation of the organizers and participants to ensure public safety." These are all bold-faced lies top to bottom, but why would they openly destroy all of their own credibility unless it was to protect something much more nefarious? As even Democrat senators from other states are perpetuating these lies.
We see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles.
With Democrat congresswomen, also from other states, coming in to say the same.
There's no danger, there's no violence. The President of the United States hates Los Angeles because we're a sanctuary city.
A good thing the National Guard showed up anyways. And when Congresswoman Waters attempted to barge in, they slammed the door in her face.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public appearance.
I need to get in.
I love how all these Democrats call Trump a dictator, the man that even won the popular vote against the Democrats with only a 20% approval rating. And then they have the audacity to think their wishes supersede the desires of the American people, as we all want to restore order in our cities, and if it takes deploying the military, then that's what it takes. As they began airdropping in supplies, finally pushing back on the mobs. And I don't want to alarm you, but the rioters likely funded by Act Blue have activated Blue Godzilla.
Shame! Shame!
And all jokes aside, as of recording this video, the rioters have blocked the 101 freeway, stopping midday traffic in both directions. So make sure you're subscribed, as it's only going to get spicier from here. Don't doom scroll on social media all day when you have my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, so subscribe to Decoy Voice.